Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Nerchio and Stats on Newkirk Precinct. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Nerchio. Hailing from Poland, one of the most terrifying foreign Zerg players on the planet. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player, Stats. Hailing from Korea, a ZVP, my favorite matchup between two very, very excellent players. This is from WCS 2016 Katowice. So this is the highest level of play I get on my channel and the highest level of play in the entire world and known universe. I'm not ruling out the chance that there's a planet out there where StarCraft is very, very popular and everybody plays it, so it's a little bit higher level than here on Earth. So I'm just going to say known universe, just in case. Hatch first. Out of Nerchio, no respect. No respect for Stats there. Stats could be cannon rushing. He has no idea because there's no Overlord over his natural, but the probe is making itself known by being very annoying, doing mineral line harassment. In case you didn't know, if there's one worker on a mineral gathering mineral patch gathering minerals, then no other workers can do it. Oh, that actually worked. That actually worked. Drone came back, bounced over to another one because the probe was on it. I mean, this can net you like a tiny, tiny advantage. You're never going to win a game because of this, but Stats is at the highest level. He does another Nerchio. Is a very good, very macro-heavy Zerg player, and if you can slow him down in the early game, it adds up. It adds up a little bit. So we'll see if that actually works out for Stats. Second assimilator on the way. Did go one get expand with the Cybercore coming up as well. Sloverlord moving out across the map. Nerchio does not care what Stats is doing until that Sloverlord gets there. Spawning pool just about to pop for the Zerg player as well. And again, thanks to the people who post these replay packs. I mean, it was official post, right? IAM is the one that gathered them. They sorted them nicely. They put it out in a giant zip file. I was able to get those. Again, check out Liquidpedia. Go to Liquidpedia. See when the next online, like the next live streamed tournament is going to be at the highest level. You'll see more games than I can cast on my channel. I mean, this pack that just got posted is like, I don't even know. There are multiple rounds, multiple sections of each round. I couldn't cast all these if I cast them all for like straight 4 months, 2 a day. So again, this is a selection, but if you want to see more high-level stuff, go to Liquidpedia, see what's out there, see what's available on the live casting scene, and you will not be displeased, that is for sure. Lings chasing that probe away. No, the probe refuses to be intimidated. Refuses to be intimidated. Reminds me of the video game Horizon Zero Dawn. A couple of my friends are playing that one on the PlayStation 4, and they said there's a scene early on where you have the option whether to back down or whether to express your determination in the face of some enemies. And I really feel like you should express your determination. Make it known that you're strong, but these people decided not to. Decided to back down a little bit and give peace a chance. And I don't agree with that, man. All right, Adept here in the mineral line. Oh, cancels the psionic transfer at the very last second to Stats. It's not like the position, even in between these mineral line patches with 4 Lings and a Queen out, it just wasn't going to be worth it to lose the Adept in exchange for maybe 2 drones at that point. So Stats very wisely pulling it out there. What is our tech of choice? Additional gateways is not tech. Stats, oh, here it is. Twilight Council with Resonating Glaives on the way. So that's great. That is great. Makes Adepts so good against Zerg. Really good against Lings. Really good against drones. There are the spines. Spines and pokers poking out of this third hatch that Nerchio's got coming up just to the north of his natural base. Roach Warren on the way for Nerchio as well. And Sporecrawler coming up. Doesn't really know what's going on here. Hasn't sent a Sloverlord in at all. He is pretty much blind. He knows there's a pylon. One pylon inside the main base of Stats, which I think I could have assumed without looking. So he's getting Sporecrawler, which, you know what? More Zerg players should just do this. It's one spore. It protects you against so many things. So many things Protoss can do. Just get it. Just get a Sporecrawler. If you don't know exactly what your opponent is doing, and that might very well be the case, just get Spore. One Spore in each mineral line. It's not going to set you back, especially at the lower levels. It's not going to hurt you as much as you think it will. Got some Lings poking at the front, seeing all of these Adepts moving out. Immediately 5 Roaches in production for Nerchio. He's making 8 Lings as well. Is it going to be enough to hold this off is the question of the day. Adepts trying to sneak on over. Another Overlord says, yes, the Adepts are still coming, reporting that back to home base. And back at home base, we do have some Roaches popping out, but they're kind of disparate, coming from different hatcheries right now. They're trying to gather themselves together. 3 Roaches trying to slow it down. And there's the psionic transfer, pulling the drones or the Roaches back. More Lings are here. Speedlings can keep up with that for sure. And they cancel. They cancel the psionic transfer and back on out. Excellent response there out of Nerchio, getting a bunch of roaches and lings. Roaches and lings together, much better than just straight roach. The lings can kind of pin the adepts in place while the roaches hit them, whereas straight roaches can kind of just waddle after the adepts slowly, allowing the adepts to murder a whole lot of drones. Lair already done for Nerchio. What is the follow-up from stats going to be? Warp Prism's moving out. That's good. Warp Prism here, and really nothing else. No other tech. Just going mass adept against his Zerg opponent. That is... I mean, it can work. We've seen it work. I'm not going to say it's not going to work, but a Zerg player, again, who responded that well to the early adept attack is not going to falter to a secondary or a third or a fourth adept attack. We'll see. We'll see how it works here. Warp Prism moving in. Overlord scouting by Nerchio is beautifully fantastic right now. He sees exactly where this Warp Prism is. Dropping anyway his stats, even though there are a bunch of roaches here. That is 8 roaches ready to go, and the pick up a boost out on that Warp Prism. Not a boost out, but they're pretty fast. It looks like they're boosting anyway. Lings running around third base up and running. 55 to 55 total harvesters. Third base under construction for stats. Killing an Overlord that scouted out the construction of this third base, so Nerchio knows it's there. Time for a fourth. If you're Nerchio, I think you got to keep up with a player like stats if you're going to win this thing. Roaches moving in, and nope. Warp Prism thinks about dropping in there, but now there's a queen. A queen devoted to making sure that Warp Prism does not get anywhere near the main base. Drones here a little bit early on this extractor at the third base, but Nerchio has his attention otherwhere. What am I trying to say? Elsewhere. Elsewhere, I'm trying to say. Average APM about 370, 350 for both of these players, playing very, very quickly here. Even in the early game, there's not a whole lot to do. Warp Prism trying to do stuff here at the third base. Pretty good adept Warp Prism micro here, killing a lot of Zerglings and not losing a single adept. That was amazing. 14 lings have died for 0 units. Stats has not lost a single thing at 6.5 minutes into this game, almost 7 minutes into this game. That was Warp Prism micro is one of the most amazing things you can see in StarCraft 2. Adepts dropping, getting picked up, shooting, getting picked up, dropping, killing lings like they're made out of paper mache, which they kind of are, right? I mean, lings are not exactly sturdy. But regardless, stats has transitioned and switched into an Adept Sentry Immortal type play. Wow, another drop back here at the third base, killing 6 drones with those Adepts, and still having lost 1 Adept. Lost 1 Adept, stats getting a little bit sloppy. A little bit sloppy there. And he scouts the Baneling Nest. No, Nerchio! Why are you going Banelings? There are so many sentries and immortals here. If you can get the sentries of the Banelings, that's great, but force fields make Banelings utterly useless. Useless, I say. Ravagers, I guess, can knock down the force fields. Nerchio does have a bunch of those. It's 152 to 122 total supply. Nerchio has a big old scary army with no upgrades whatsoever, but he's out macroing his opponent fairly well. Crossbiles just forcing stats back. Some Archons in production for stats here as well. And gonna Crossbiles on what? Trying to take down both of these gateways at once with Crossbiles. They're both down to about 100 hit points now. That might be easily picked off. Another Corrosive Bile round and 2 gateways for free. Woo! Nerchio pretty happy about that one. Is this more Adept stuff? More Adept and Zealot stuff. Here at the third base, holding it, Nerchio loses some units but doesn't actually get overwhelmed by anything. Fourth base under construction for Nerchio. Stats might land here and try to knock it. Yes, the Charge Lots. Oh, the Charge Lots with +1 are here to try to take down this hatch. Roaches and Lings going to try to make sure this doesn't happen. And there's a big old another warping of Zealots here. The Roaches have to get microed a little bit better than this. Where's your attention? There we go. Lings coming in. And stats recognizing, okay, that's too many Zerglings. They do have +1 attack. And do I want to drop? Let's drop in this mineral line and kill a drone or 2. Nope. Didn't do it, and the pick up again. So stats is babysitting his units extremely well. Roaches and Ravagers trying to knock down the debris that stats knocked down up here to get inside this third base. Additional protection is now gone, but it gave you some warning. It gave you some time for the Immortals and the Archons and the Sentries and things to come up here. Oh, force fields trapping a bunch of Roaches and Ravagers, getting absolutely massacred. Trying to get out of there. 1 Roach does survive because of Corrosive Bile knocking down a force field or 2. But pretty good move there by stats. I mean, geez. At this point, resources or units lost. 6 Ravagers or 6 Roaches, a Ravager, 40 Lings and 7 Drones for 3 Zealots and 4 Adepts and a couple Gateways. It's just, I mean, resources lost here. 2,200 for the Zerg and about 1,100 for stats. Ooh, man, these pro games, there's a lot going on. I've been casting a lot of lower level stuff recently, if you haven't noticed. A lot of GM, Master, you know, Mid-Rank Madness, Into the Void, stuff like that. And the games do not have as many things happen as we see in the pro games, which is why they're the most popular, obviously. Infester's out for Nerchio, getting a Spire, getting a Hive, getting +2 melee attack, and Neural Parasite What is Neural Parasite for? There is a Stargate coming in for stats. I don't know if he's planning on going for Skytoss here, but I mean, if it's carrier eventually, I suppose Neural Parasite could be pretty good. Lings and Banelings trying to poke at this army, but again, Force Fields and Immortals, they combine to be Baneling useless team of victory is what they generally are. Walking across the creep, killing creep tumors thanks to the assistance of an observer that's right on top of this army. Baneling's trying to roll in. I just don't see them hitting. I really don't. Meanwhile, Zealots and Adepts trying to come in and knock down this 4th base. Another Warpin at the 3rd at the same time. Gets cleaned up in both locations. Actually, by cleaned up, I mean there are still a bunch of Zealots and Adepts here at the 6th base. Ling's trying to get in there and deal with this thing. And yes, enough Lings will show up to deal with that. But the most of the army for stats is here at the front door of Nerchio's natural base. Storms on the Banelings and Archons in the front. Archons take like 0 damage from Banes. Is Zealots still here? Zealots wandering into the 3rd base now. Banelings crushing them. Lings assisting as well. That's a lot of Banelings that exploded that I think Nerchio probably wanted for this attack at his front. Immortal Archon with Storm at 11 minutes is just insane for stats. So good. Force Fields being thrown up, but basically it's all Ravager for Nerchio here. So is this another Warpin? Another Warpin of Zealots! At the 4th base, Banelings in there once again. 15 drones have been killed at 70 to 71 Harvesters. Nerchio would be up quite a bit if not for this consistent harassment by stats. Attacking at the front while dropping at the back at these extraneous, well not extraneous, but external bases. Yeah. All right. Archon, 5 kills, 2 kills, 0 kills, 5 kills. They've been all right. They've been okay. Stats hasn't really won a decisive victory yet. He's won some small victories for sure against Nerchio. Nerchio taking those 2 gateways is pretty much all he was able to pull off thus far. Army moving up to this 4th base. And a 4th base already up for stats. A 5th base up for stats. He's out macroing. Banelings again, just utterly useless. In this situation, they are exploding on Archons. If they explode on the army at all, they're just getting hit by force fields and then getting shot from a distance. Baneling hit there. It triggered the barrier on the Immortal, but they don't really care. They don't care about that. Stats is not worried whatsoever about these Banelings. I just have to imagine. It is a carrier transition out of stats. What? I guess he's on 5 bases. He's feeling pretty confident right now. A bunch of Ravagers. Corrosive Biles landing, not hitting much of anything whatsoever. Corruptors in production. Greater Spire in production. Again, he does have Infestors with Neural Parasite, and by that, he does not have any Infestors. Where did they go? Did they die? His 2 Infestors died somewhere along the way. I don't know where it was, but it would be nice if he had them when the carriers show up. All right, so we got, again, Archons, Templar, Immortal, really a couple Stalkers here as well for stats. Not really switching up, coming up into this 4th base to harass it once again. Banelings trying to crash on something, and I mean, not killing anything, not killing a single thing. Kind of weakening some of these Stalkers, but that is about it. Why do pro players insist on going Banes against Protoss? I've seen it work a couple times, but look, force fields up, Banelings dead. A good elite Protoss player will get force fields up on those Banelings and make them utterly useless pretty much instantly. I mean, we're looking at what, 38 Banelings that have been lost, which again I'm pretty sure means Banelings have exploded not on their own volition, not on the enemy, not doing any damage whatsoever, just straight up dying. Resources lost, 12,000 for Nerchio, only 6,000 for stats. I'm surprised stats has lost that much, but I guess it's been a lot of Zealots and stuff. Banelings coming in again here, force fields, chasing them away. They just Broodlords in the sky for Nerchio. All right, so that might be interesting, but carriers have arrived for stats. He's got more Templar. He's got Archons. He's got carriers. He's got Immortals. This is looking so bad for Nerchio. Stats is going for a 6th base because at this point, why not? Just do it. Go for a 6th base. Nerchio trying to get a 5th base down here next to his natural, but it dies in about 3.8 seconds. Corrosive Biles landing on carriers. Whoa! Killing 2 of them. Corrosive Bile, good. What was that? That was amazing. Only 1 carrier left for stats here. Corruptors want to take it down, but there was only 2 of the Corruptors. So maybe not. Again, Corrosive Biles on this carrier. Stats sacrificing it. Did not respond very well to that. And Nerchio kind of clawing his way back into this game. Another drop, another attempted drop. Here at the 4th base, Corrosive Biles trying to get rid of it. Resources lost, 13,000 for the Zerg and 7,600 for stats. So he's back to a very ground level army. Tempest in production for stats now. I guess he might have sacrificed that carrier to go for Tempest. Again, Banelings trying to roll in. Nope, force fields stay. No, Archon with 1 kill at the front, 1 kill, 6 kill. Well, how many Broodlords are remaining? There are 3 Broodlords. I don't think that Nerchio is necessarily committing to Broodlord, which is good because Tempest is pretty good against Broodlord, and stats is definitely triple pumping Tempest right now, along with air weapons level 3. How does he have time to do all this? He's already got +3 ground attack. Trying to sneak a base here just south of his 4th while the army of Stats is nearby. Nope, good luck with that. There's the cancel. He's trying to get a 5th base. Nerchio is trying so hard to get a 5th base. Every time he approaches this army of Stats, it's either Storm or it's Force Fields. Storm is good against most of the stuff Nerchio has. Force Field's great against Banelings. Broodlord's trying to get into a position where they can actually murder things. Stats might have left these Immortals behind on purpose, again, to free up more supply, as you might not feel like they have very much utility. They're not part of most of the army. And they are going to get cleared out here by these Lings. One of them, anyway. Again, coming on up. Corrosive Biles do catch an Archon here at Nerchio's desperate attempt to get a 5th base. He's got a 6th base coming up at the same time, replanting it next to his natural just outside, but Stats sees this one. Stats finds it, waltzes right on in with his +3 attack ground units, forces a cancel. And Nerchio going, all right, you're going to come this far into my territory. Corrosive Biles landing, killing a couple sentries. And I think a Templar. Has a Templar died in this game yet? Yes, one Templar has been killed. Did he kill his own thing there? Looks like he killed a Stalker on accident. Or on purpose, maybe. He's got a Mothership on the way. This is where it gets dangerous. Ultralisk Cavern just popped. Chitinous Plating done. Upgrades, no. What was that? I guess that was just the thing popping into existence. So production, we're looking at Dark Shrine on the way for Stats. No Ultras in production for Nerchio. Again, the Immortal count is currently 8, so no, don't do that. Don't make Ultralisks. They will die so quickly. Just don't. This is a bad idea. Bad idea. He's getting Chitinous Plating, though. He's planning on it. Nerchio's doing all the things I don't want him to do, and he's not dead yet, right? It's maxed out versus maxed out. He has a lot of Spore Crawlers coming up. He did get his 5th and his 6th bases up and ready to go, but it's 54 to 75 Harvesters. 21 drones have been killed thus far. Broodlord and Corruptor count is at 6 Broodlords and 15 Corruptors, which is not bad. Not shabby. Tempest count, on the other hand, is 6. So we'll see how this works. We'll see how this works out for Nerchio. Trying to kind of poke here at the 5th base. Not really liking what he sees as Stats. He's being patient. He's being patient here. Again, Ravagers with some Corrosive Biles. This is a pretty slow-moving army for Stats. There's the Storms. There's the Corrosive Bile and missing everything, which is not, again, not common for this match. Nerchio's been doing pretty well with his Corrosive Biles, but lately, not much damage at all. At the very least, it forces Stats back. The Mothership rather, has joined the army of Stats here, killing some of these Spore Crawlers, trying to kill this 6th base. Again, Nerchio's trying to make a 6th. And does it go down? Stalker's finishing it off. Boom. There it goes. 6 bases to 5 bases. Protoss is up a base. This does not bode well whatsoever for our Zerg player. Infestors are here. Oh, Infestors are here. Do they have enough energy for Neural Parasite? They do not. They do not yet. He's waiting. He's waiting on it. They're brand new Infestors is the problem with this. So losing that base, a big deal for Nerchio. Stalkers, Blink Stalkers, warping into the main base of Nerchio, going after the Infestation Pit. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. There are 5 of... Oh, unless they get distracted. They got distracted. They got distracted by something. All right. Small poke here at the 5th base of Nerchio. Once again, there's nothing here for Nerchio. There are no extractors, no drones whatsoever. And the Infestation Pit is saved. Stats losing concentration there just a little bit. That might come into play here. Stats going for 3 more Stargates. Moving into Void Ray to deal with these Corruptors. The adjustment by Stats has been amazing. Tempest do take down a single Broodlord, and Nerchio's 6th base is dead. It is. It's dead. It is totes McDotes dead. Alright, so Stats is kind of just poking around. He doesn't want to straight up murder his opponent yet. He's waiting for these additional 3 Stargates to finish. His army is, I mean, what is it? 6 Tempest, bunch of Immortal, few Templar, waltzing into this 4th base, and full drone evacuation going after it. Look at how quickly it died. Look at how quickly it died, and there's the recall. That's it. Stats taking it down, recalling back. Just patiently picking apart Nerchio right now. I mean, this is a clinic. This is a clinic on how to deal with an elite Zerg player right now in Legacy of the Voids. The Protoss players, take notes. Take notes on this. Changelings coming in to try to see what is up with this army. Stats lets them live, well, for about like 2 seconds more than usual, I guess. One does make it all the way into this. Oh, cannon killed it. Never mind. I'm surprised this Warp Prism has been allowed to live as long as it has. Nerchio is starving. He's starving Marvin. He's trying to replace 2 bases, but he has some mining minerals at his natural, and that is it. Immortals waltzing on in, killing some Spore Crawlers, and then dancing back out Waltzing in, dancing out. Stats at 10,000, 5,000 at maxed out. Nerchio is mineral starved and gas starved, near to 100 for both of those, and maxed out. So long distance mining drones, trying to do this here at the 4th base, which is dead. We do have some DTs inside the main base of Nerchio, but going after an extractor that's already finished. So that was weird. That was extremely weird. No 4th base for you, says Stats. Not allowed. Tempest, Mothership, Storm, Archons, and Immortals is working extremely well here for Stats. It's just, Nerchio's got a bunch of Corruptors. He's got, here we go. Here are the Burrow Infestors. Where's the Observer with this army? He has one. There it is. He has a single Observer. It's a little bit injured. 32 out of 40 available hit points, outside of shields. Oracle on the way for Stats. He wants to be able to see those Infestors. He knows they're there. I'm pretty sure he saw them. That's why he's pulling back. Although I don't even know what you Neural Parasite here. Do you Neural Parasite the Void Rays? Do you... Yeah, probably the Void Rays. If I had to guess what I'd Neural Parasite if I were Nerchio. So moving up here again, killing more Creep Tumors. And again, the distance from which you can hit these Broodlords with a Tempest is really long. It's really super long. It's 15 range. Trying to come on in and get a nice concave is Nerchio, but Stats is refusing to let this happen. The Tempest getting caught a little bit, though. And there we go, Neural Parasite on the Tempest. He storms on everything. Corrosive Biles on Circles as well. Who is going to win this battle? Corruptors going after the Tempest that are not attacking them. The Immortals on the ground getting killed by the Ravagers. And suddenly, Stats' army was obliterated. What on earth happened there? Oh my gosh. DT's walking into the main base of Nerchio. Nerchio pulling back. I don't know if you can pull back. DTs, there are 4 of them inside his main, which does require some kind of response, but he's going to lose his spawning pool. Warp Prism might finally die. No, it's faster than Corruptors. It's not actually going to die here. Zealots and DTs wandering around. Stats is rebuilding his army, mostly with Void Rays and Immortals here. And I mean, Nerchio did have a lead, but now it's 142 to 167 supply. Stats basically had the ability to remax there. It was a Zerg thing, right? You went in, you lost the battle, you remax, and then you come back for round 2. Nerchio doesn't really have the ability to do much. He does have his 5th base. His 5th base up and running somehow, some way. He's got a 6th base down here as well after clearing the debris next to his main. I don't know. What does Nerchio have? He's got 5 Broodlords, 17 Corruptors, 8 Ravagers, 3 Infestors, and then again, they can burrow move, and they do have energy for casting here, but Stats is taking, good heavens, a 7th base now, just to the left of his main. And Void Rays are going to be really good against this army of Nerchio. Corruptors are not great in that situation. Broodlord's useless in that situation. Ravagers might be able to handle it. But we're looking at 12 Void Rays, 6 Templar, 3 Archons, 3 Immortals, and here it is. Void Rays on top of the Corruptors. They are evaporating so quickly. Storms as well, trying to move out of the Storms as best as he possibly can. Feedback on the Overseers. Ravagers trying to kill everybody there possible, and that is it. A good game out of Nerchio. Nerchio is defeated, and Stats is victorious. That's ridiculous. What an amazing ZVP. What an absolutely sick ZVP for you today. I mean, not that I guess Stats did have a lot at the end. He had 183 supply. 10 Void Rays, 3 Archons, 3 Immortals, 8 Zealots. I mean, and 75 Workers. It's not huge numerically. But let's look at these upgrades. +3, +2, +1 on the air units. The Archons had +3, +2, 10 kills, 9 kills on the Archons. Void Rays coming into play. Mothership with 5 kills. And Void Rays just kind of burning through everything. Nerchio losing one of his only mining bases. There is stuff. Zealots dealing with his 3rd base that's basically evacuated, but losing that is not good for Nerchio either. And Nerchio goes down to a Broodlord and an Infestor with an Overseer as well. So absolutely, again, just patient play by Stats. Built up enough of a bank and kept Nerchio from doing the same thing, to the point where even if Stats lost a battle, which he did, he lost a big battle, it just didn't mean enough in the grand scheme of things for Nerchio actually to win the match. So, well played by Stats. Just patient assassination of his opponent. Resources lost 38,000 for the Zerg player and only 26 for Stats. Ho! All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.